Welcome to the Friday edition of Studio 12 right here from the south end zone of Kyle Field. Will Johnson, Matt Simon with you. A busy show today. That's because it is a busy weekend.
You notice how he had to pause and remember what day of the week it was?
I do that all the time.
Well, it's just the beginning of fall.
This is a
that's not good.
This is a
sign.
Wednesday, Friday show, and if you listen to me every time, it's welcome to the Wednesday edition. Yeah,
I'm a little worried about you, Will.
I know. It'd be different if it's Wednesday, Thursday. That's just a day apart,
right,
and that's
right.
tougher. But
2 days
apart, come on,
tough.
get it straight.
They have these things called watches, phones.
Well, as you can see,
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I do have a phone that hardly tells time. We've got Laurie Corbelli with us, head volleyball coach here at Texas A&M, and their season starts this weekend right here at Reed Arena.
Tonight,
exactly. 3 matches all throughout the weekend. And
3 matches.
we were kind of talking about this on the last show, though, which I think was Wednesday, something like that. But 25?
25th season.
25 years. The silver season
Yeah,
for you at Texas A&M.
I suppose.
I guess I could ask the generic question, has it flown by?
It really has. You know, and I mean, the other day we were at TCU to play in a scrimmage, and Jenna Moskovic from the 99 to 2001, 2002 teams sitting across the way in the stands and waving with her 4 kids, you know. And I just thought she hadn't changed a bit. In fact, she looks even younger, you know, more vibrant than when I had her. And I just can't believe that was almost 20 years ago. And anyway, that's the stuff that really warms your heart when you see your former players and they are still attached and supportive to your program. And just being in Aggie Land for that, you know, the days seem to go slowly sometimes, to be honest, but the years fly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's pretty much flown by.
you'll remember, the deep runs in the tournament and the championships, but it's really those kind of moments that's why you do what you do. And isn't it fun to kind of catch up with those kids? And she's not anymore a kid, but to catch up with those people and kind of see how they've developed as women and leaders.
Yeah, you know, it's I like to post a few things on Facebook with some really neat coaching quotes that I find, and I'll have responses from players of 15, 20, 25 years ago saying, this is something you taught me, Laurie, or, that just makes your whole day. It makes actually your whole week, sometimes your whole season, because seasons like the one we're coming up on, which is going to be such an interesting blend of old and new, you just have to remember that it's about the process, and it's about it's about the journey as you go through the seasons with these kids.
You got a match 6:30 tonight against Sam. Tomorrow matches at 1 and 6:30, Texas State and VCU. But you mentioned the scrimmage against TCU. Is that new? Have you guys done scrimmage? That is a new thing. I know basketball's done that.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you think it was a cool
loved
deal?
It. I'm so grateful for that scrimmage because I saw things I didn't even know existed that weren't good. And so, and it was such a new experience on the road, new setter, new middles. I mean, I've had them in my gym for under 3 weeks, and they needed to put a jersey on and all of us needed to get game ready. And I don't know where that's been for us. It was really greatly appreciated that the NCAA approved it for this season, and I think it has made a huge difference for us. We have made changes we would not have known to even make, to be honest.
That's so many other sports do those exhibitions and scrim. It's essentially an exhibition, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that volleyball's never done it. That's weird. Yeah.
And they're kind of these unpublicized things. Do you like that even better because it's you don't have the masses coming out to see you just yet. You just get to hone in and focus on volleyball there.
Yeah, TCU has a tiny, tiny, tiny gym. It is like Consolidated's gym. It's tiny, and so they packed it from area fans, and so it still had the feel. This particular scrimmage had the feel of a crowd and the noise, not the band. The band wasn't there, but yeah, it's still had a little bit of a sense that people are watching. I mean, we've been in our practice gym with 4 walls surrounding us for 2 weeks, and so to have people in there, our girls are a bunch of show-offs, so they love it. When people come watch them play. But anyway, it was really, really good for us. And coaching-wise, we got to come back and really study some things, and we've changed our lineup. Not really personnel, but just positions and rotations. We've added plays. We've taken plays out. We've changed a lot. So it's good. I hope. We'll see if it was good or not this weekend.
About to find out.
To be honest,
6:30 tonight, Sam Houston State, Texas A&M. This is part of the Texas A&M Invitational. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Aggies, Texas State, and then VCU, Texas A&M at 6:30. And this tournament, Laurie, I was doing a little recon on it. It's a sneaky good tournament, I think, because a lot of these teams have been, I don't know if I'd call them perennial NCAA tournament teams, but they're battling for that they're in those conferences where you got to win that tournament every time. But they're battling for that spot. Sam Houston almost won it last year. Texas State. So sneaky good opportunity for you guys to grow and get better as like you said, a young blend that you've got going on your home floor, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. I'm impressed, Matt. You got it. You nailed it.
I've impressed her. I'm done.
Yeah.
Show's over. Headset down.
No,
We've
but
just starting the fall. You got rid of
is,
him for the semester. Thanks.
It is, yeah. It is exactly what we were thinking. These teams will get a lot of wins in their season. They are very competitive in the schedule that they play, and they're competitive NCAA tournament teams. And they're also, two of them are local kids. Lots of Texans coming into our gym this weekend with families coming and friends, and a lot of my players have played against a lot of these. So it just ended up being the perfect beginning of our season, and in terms of how it's supposed to pan out. But I think for me, my focus obviously is how to get my team game ready and match ready as soon as possible, given the fact that I've had some key players on the court for under 3 weeks. That part I can't emphasize enough, that especially the part that's so intricate with the timing of middles and setters, trying to run the quick attack, trying to find their arm, trying to decide when to set this player that's now a 6'4" middle that has a totally different skill set than Jazz Babers had or Sullivan had. So it's really, really different. Luckily, we returned the pin hitters that have been out there for, two of them are seniors, McGee and Reeser, that have a lot of experience, that are going to have to really anchor the group, as well as our DSs who are seniors and juniors for the most part, that'll take our first ball from defensive efforts and serve-receive efforts. So, the pieces are there. It's just really sharpening and making the middle of our net really effective, and we have the young talent to do it. We just have to continue to develop it.
And if you're coming to Reed Arena tonight or throughout the weekend, you'll notice a little bit of a different venue. Are you fired up about the big TV that's going to be above your heads? The new video board out at Reed this year.
Oh, my gosh. I wasn't excited because yesterday they played something y'all did over here with my big old face on the front of it for like 3 hours. I was like, what? Get that off there.
Oh, that's great. And then we had to switch to Feinbaum.
Yeah, a lot better than Feinbaum.
Yeah, let's go now.
I was like, so, of course, the team loved that. Look at Laurie. Get off there. So, anyway, we watched it go up. It was really, really cool. And it's, I hope they put it up there really steady, because we're the first group to be underneath it
we'll see.
for 48 hours. So, yeah, let's hope that glue sticks.
That's
but
why you're playing the 6:30 match.
That's right.
Yeah. There's two before you.
Bring extra duct tape.
Bring extra, yeah. So it is gorgeous. My gosh. And then the ribbon boards, and then, oh my gosh, it makes a huge, and it's so much brighter in Reed Arena now too. We walked in, and that's the first thing my players noticed is, my gosh, it's just like the sun shining in here. So it's really going to be cool, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
And we've talked about this. I mean, heck, how long has it been now? 7, 8 years you've been in the building? We've talked about this multiple times on this show, where when you make the move, you go, is it too big? Maybe, I got to think that gives it even more of an intimate feel, because that thing is hanging right there. And then place gets loud when you get people in there. And when the 12th man comes out, especially those students come out, that place can get, to me, it's a lot louder maybe than I thought it would be when the team made that move in 09. It's been fun to watch matches in there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we compared it so long to the Holler House, to G Raleigh, that G Raleigh was just, there aren't many places like that anymore. Yeah. So many teams have moved into the big venues, but at the same time, I'd say half of the SEC teams do have a smaller gym. They just don't seat 8,000 like G Raleigh did with no acoustics. They do have acoustics now, and they maybe have 4,000 seats. So it's still kind of loud, but I love what Rita Arena offers now. It's a beautiful venue inside. It's getting more and more updated. I think they've got plans to do the concourse and just a lot of new things that they're going to really pay attention to with, Coach Kennedy and Coach Blair really kind of heading, I think, that whole, trying to make it at what some of the other venues they play in looks like.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, too, for fans, this weekend you got these three. Your schedule that you've got, I don't know that you've ever had a better non-conference schedule coming. I mean, you've got essentially a Final Four coming here over the course of 10 days, which is spectacular, in Penn State, Stanford, and Texas. Mm-hmm. But then you've got also Florida. You've got those powerhouses in the SEC coming here. I mean, would you say maybe one of your better schedules? I mean, I guess in the Big 12 maybe you've had some pretty interesting runs. But with that non-conference combined with some of the teams coming here, one of the more, from a fan perspective, exciting schedules maybe ever that you've gotten to put together.
I just can't even express how excited we are and how happy I am that these teams agree to come to College Station to show this level of volleyball to our community and our volleyball fans in South Texas, because there are future Olympians on these teams. They are All-American, first-team All-Americans will fill the gym. And they'll be on the other side of the net from me, but my players are so excited to have that experience and that opportunity to go up against some of the best, which is really what sports is all about in the end. We had designed it to try to get Penn State to come. Was the first one we went for, and I was certain it was not going to. I mean, I just kind of had a feeling they were already booked, but he said, I have never come to College Station, Laurie. We want to be in your venue. We are there. And I don't care who else is in the tournament. I'm like, well, good, because you're going to be playing probably Stanford, who's interested. Stanford had a late hire, and they had not finished their schedule yet. So he was they were really, really looking for some matches. And I'm like, well, here's an opportunity to have another great team. Let's just go for it. Let's go for it. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be great volleyball, lots of fun. Learning, if we can learn from it, and have a shot at our place against, be the underdog and go for it. And then with the SEC, it's always going to be a battle. If you're not ready, you can get beat by anyone. Mm-hmm.
And then just finally, before we let you go, this weekend, let's put the wins aside. Obviously, that's what you're looking for. What are you really, as a coach, looking for this weekend out of your kids? You've got that group you're talking about that you're trying to get meshing. What are you looking for this weekend?
I think in the end, I really want to see just a great fighting spirit in their game, in their way they play the game. It's such a fast and dynamic game that as we develop our middle attack, which requires dynamic, it requires speed, and they have to give their best to make that happen. In order for us to really have the balanced attack that we're known for, and it's so defensively, we've let too many balls drop in our scrimmage the other day. We let too many balls drop at TCU and if it hit our platforms and we wanted it on the target, which we're capable of, some of them didn't go there, and that wasn't okay with me. We weren't as sharp as we know we can be. So I'm looking for the players that have returned, that are heading up this group, to lead in a really intense and sharp and accurate as they can be at this time of the season.
Looking forward to it, Coach.
Thanks.
All
me
the
too.
best.
Thank you, y'all. Thanks for having me.